So Amazon is widely known as an online marketplace giant who is dominating the e-commerce business, generating over $100 billion in revenue per year. But do you know what else Amazon is dominating? The industrial real estate space right here in America and all over the world. The company leases 570 million square feet of real estate just like you see behind me. And on top of their leased space, they own just under 35 million square feet of space according to a 10K filing with the SEC. And as far as how all this computes to a dollar figure, according to the Wall Street Journal, Amazon owns about $57.3 billion worth of land and buildings, which makes them one of the largest real estate owners in the world, only second to Walmart. In today's episode, we are going to dive into the real estate side of this e-commerce giant's business. We'll talk about the warehouses and office space that they own here in the US and all over the world. And last, we're going to get into why Amazon real estate is worth nearly 2 times any other real estate in its class. Okay, so Amazon, as we all know it, is a company who has replaced all of our local mom and pop shops for basically anything that we need in life, whether that's some toothpaste, a book, a case for our cell phone, a new shirt for work, a TV, a boat, a Chia Pet, bacon bandages, or a Nicolas Cage pillow. It's a bit of a sad story really, but this company has mastered and dominated the concept of getting us as consumers pretty much any product that we need, and oftentimes they get us those products faster than it would take for us to drive to our local store and get it ourselves. The company was famously founded by Jeff Bezos in his garage in Bellevue, Washington back in 1994, originally focused on being simply a place to buy books online. They have since evolved into one of the world's largest retailers, right next to companies like Costco and Walmart. So Amazon has grown into something that I don't even know that Jeff Bezos himself could have imagined, but in order to sustain that growth, one of the key parts of their business model going forward is to start owning instead of leasing industrial real estate space just like this. When you think about why Amazon needs so much real estate in so many major cities, it's simply just to achieve that same day delivery or next day delivery for their clients as much and as often as humanly possible. See, it's easy for us as consumers to just browse the Amazon website, add something we like to our cart, and then just have it show up at our doorstep within a few hours or a few days and think, wow, isn't this amazing? But I think that a lot of us don't just stop to think about how this miracle actually happened. This miracle happened because Amazon owns and rents fulfillment centers, sort centers, and offices all around the world. I mean, if you look at where I live here in Phoenix alone, they've got over a dozen locations. It's fulfillment centers like this that are able to make our instant gratification dreams a reality whenever we need some new random item in our life. Each one of these fulfillment centers usually employ anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 full-time employees. That's not including the robots. And these employees are responsible for picking, packing, and shipping items to all of us consumers out there in the world. And as of the last report in December of 2021, Amazon had over 1.6 million total employees in their workforce. What's unique about Amazon's crazy real estate footprint is that each one of their fulfillment centers requires a ton of square footage just because of all the products. We're talking anywhere from 500,000 to 1 million square feet of space each, with the average fulfillment center sitting at around 800,000 square feet in size. Compare that to another company who owns a ton of real estate like McDonald's, for example, which has an average restaurant size of only 4,000 square feet, and you quickly realize why Amazon's real estate footprint is so much more than anybody else's. Like we covered at the start of the video, Amazon actually only owns a small percentage of the buildings that they occupy at this point. About 35 million square feet represents what they currently own, and 570 million square feet is what they rent all around the world. If you are the lucky owner of a piece of real estate that is leased out to Amazon, you are sitting on a gold mine. See, the reason for that is because the way that commercial real estate is typically valued is based on the tenant that occupies that commercial space, the quality of that tenant who's occupying the space, how much that tenant is paying per month in rent, and then how long the lease is with that tenant. Most of us are familiar with residential leases where you rent a house out to a person or a family for a few $1,000 per month, usually on a 6-month or a 12-month lease, and then after that the family moves out and a new one moves in. Well, in commercial real estate, especially big industrial real estate like what Amazon occupies, you are going to see much longer leases where the tenant agrees to stay for 10, 15 years, or even longer. Imagine being a landlord who owns a piece of real estate that's rented out to Amazon on a 15-year lease and the rent increases are already built into that lease, that's gotta be about the easiest money that you can make. To sweeten the deal, Amazon is actually paying higher rents than its competitors in the industrial space as well, just to ensure that they get the best industrial real estate on the market. Plus, they have been single-handedly spiking the rent rates due to how fast they've been expanding, because nowadays there is almost no inventory even available when it comes to large industrial warehouses like what Amazon occupies. Just to give you guys a visual on how big the upside could be if you were a part of a real estate deal as a landlord with Amazon's name attached to it, wealthmanagement.com shared a story where a family office bought a 290,000 square foot Amazon distribution center for $128 million last year. This was 8 times what the previous owner, Greenlaw, paid for the property just 1 year prior. So Greenlaw bought this building for $16 million. They renovated it, which cost them about $17 million. And then after that, they signed a new 15-year lease with Amazon. So these guys put about $33 million into the deal in total. They signed a new lease with Amazon and then sold that building 1 year later for a $95 million profit. There was a recent study by a company called Commercial Edge that found that on average, industrial real estate sells for about $94 per square foot. But when Amazon is the tenant, that same building will demand as much as $145 per square foot. Investors are willing to pay such a premium for space that's occupied by Amazon because Amazon as a company is about as safe and stable as you can get when it comes to an industrial tenant. Going back to the fact that commercial real estate is largely valued based on the tenant, imagine you had 2 identical buildings, but one of them was rented out to Amazon and another one was rented out to some random mom and pop warehouse. Even if both Amazon and mom and pop tenant are paying the exact same amount of money per month in rent, the Amazon property is going to be worth more because they are far less likely to go out of business or default on their lease. Even though Amazon is dominating the industrial real estate market in general, the mid-sized tenant market, meaning those tenants looking for around 75,000 square feet, are still accounting for most sales. To me, that is the good news for the smaller entities out there who are still looking for space. It's that in most cases, those guys are not going to be competing with behemoths like Amazon because they just simply don't need as much square footage as Amazon needs. Amazon isn't just making moves in industrial real estate, they're expanding their office footprint right now as well. They recently paid $978 million for a former department store in Manhattan, buying the property from WeWork. As a company who employs millions of people, who has over 200 million Prime members and growing, and who has a market cap of over $1.5 trillion, I imagine this is only the beginning for this massive technology company. If you enjoyed the episode today, guys, if you could hit that like button down below or leave a comment, that really helps to support the channel when you do that. And remember to hit subscribe as well if you're not already a subscriber, because I'm putting new videos just like this one out every week. But that's all I've got for you guys this time. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see ya.